What's going on, YouTube? It's Siva here, also known as Slaying Pips. Today what we're going to be diving into is how we are going to go ahead and set up your Tradingview, as well as showing you guys how to send charts directly to your Notion as you guys are going through the course. First things first, you want to go log on to tradingview.com, or you can download their application directly to your phone as well as your desktop. Once you have gone on this website, you would go into the top right here where you see this T. There'll be a little person there for you. All you guys got to do is click on that, and it will give you different sign-in options, either via email, Google, Facebook, whichever one best suits you. Go ahead and log in. Make sure you're logged in. Otherwise, any of the settings that I'm going to be showing you that we're going to be changing, it's not going to save. So make sure you are logged in to an actual account. Now, what TradingView is, this is our application that we use to mark up all these different assets, right? Be it indices, stocks, right? Commodities, Forex, crypto, it doesn't matter. This is the platform that we use to mark this up so we can actually physically trade these assets. So once you have your account set up, you guys want to go ahead and click on charts under products. And this is going to go ahead and open the default chart up. So some of the things you want to notice right off the bat, first things first is your X and Y axis. As you can see here, your X axis is your time and your Y axis is the price. So if we pay attention here, we can see that on September 30th, Apple closed at a price of $138.20. Okay, so that's how you guys essentially are going to read that. The next thing you guys are going to notice here are obviously these bar or candle-like looking things, right? These are what we call candlesticks. And, right now they're red and green. Maybe you guys vibe with that, maybe you don't. But you guys can actually go ahead and customize your trading view to however you want. So, personally for me, I'm going to show you guys how I set it up. But you guys can do this how you guys want to on your own. So, if you don't like the color, you can obviously change your color according to here. So let's say, I want my bullish candles to be blue. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then let's say if I want the bearish candles to be red, I'll do it like that. Okay, so you guys can change the color. You can actually go ahead and change the background as well. So if you want it like black or blue or whatever, anything you guys vibe with, you can change the color as well. You can even do gradient. You can also notice that there are horizontal as well as vertical lines in the background. Personally, for me, I do turn off the vertical ones. But either way, even if you want to turn them up to make them more visible, all you got to do is turn the opacity to the right. And if you want to make them less visible or completely gone, you just move it over to the left. Once you guys have messed around with those settings, you can actually go ahead and click OK. And, if we do have some dark mode people in the house, you can actually go ahead here and switch it over to dark mode. And it will switch your whole chart over to dark mode as well. So whatever you guys are vibing with, figure out what you like. All right, we're going to just go ahead and leave it on that. Okay. So once you guys have set up your colors and all of that, the next thing that you guys want to be doing is setting up your actual watch list. Now, what your watch list is, this is where you guys can, put all of your assets here so you can just switch through and flip through them. This is the standard one that they have. Now, if you guys did create your own account, you can actually create your own list if you have any of the other plans. If you don't have any of the paid plans, it's all good. All you guys got to do is, you can just sit here and close all of these out, and you can start from scratch. Okay, so first things first that I would love for you guys to add on your chart is DXY, right? And, if you are starting off here with us in the trade house, we always recommend you guys to start off in Forex, looking at some of the major pairs. And as you guys develop, you guys can obviously move on to commodities such as gold and silver. You can then move on to indices, right? So this is the gold ticker. right? And then indices, right? If you're trading S&P 500, so you can add that. And then, even if you're trading something like crypto, you can search that up. So any asset that you guys want to look at, it's all here, and you can add them in. Once you guys have added those major currencies there, right? Afterwards, the other thing that you want to be doing is if you go to your left side here of the top left here, this is where you guys can actually switch up whatever you're currently looking at. So this is like the symbol searcher, right? This is where you can search up any ticker for any asset. So let's say if we're going to Euro USD, you just type that in, click it, and then boom, it will search and send you over to that corresponding chart. On the top here, some other things that I want you guys to also notice. This is your time frame section here. So if you go ahead and click here, you can see all the different time frames. And what you guys can actually do is start to favorite some of these, so that way you don't need to hit the drop down menu every single time. You could just switch through them. So for example, I like leaving these specific ones on mine. Okay. And that's how I go about setting that up. So this way you guys can switch through the different time frames accordingly. The other section that I want you guys to notice as well is our candlesticks and line chart area. So you can actually click here and you can switch it from candlesticks to line chart. These are the only two you're really going to use. Line chart is to more understand structure. And then candlesticks, of course, is the regular way you're going to be looking at the market. Okay. Next thing, indicators. Right, so there's going to be only two real indicators that you guys are going to be using here with us. One is called sessions on chart. This one right here. And then the other one is called John Phibbs London and New York Open. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to set both of these up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hide the second one for now. First one is called sessions. And what this does, it's a very simple add-on. It basically shows you, based off the time of day, what session are we trading? Are we in the London session? Are we in the New York session? Are we in the London or New York overlap? Okay, so that's basically what that is. Personally, for me, I take out Tokyo. So what you guys can actually do here, you can go to settings and then just turn off Tokyo, just uncheck it, and then that yellow box will go away. So you obviously know Tokyo section is the white area. London session is the beginning of the green area. The brown area is the beginning of New York, or like we call it, London and New York overlap. And then, of course, the pink area is the end of London and the continuation of New York. And then, of course, the next trading day, and so on and so forth. Once you guys have this set up, the next add-on here is the John Phibbs London and New York Open. And this simply just shows you the opening area with the line of when London opened or the New York Stock Exchange opened. If you go to your bottom here, make sure you guys have the right time zone set up. Okay, so personally for me, I am in the central time zone. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that right there. Right, and it will change my time accordingly to where I'm at. So make sure wherever you guys are in the world that you have that set up. Okay. Next thing you guys want to do, I know we added on 2 indicators, but you can actually go ahead and remove this volume one. This is something that we're going to be using later on, which is more advanced, but for the time being, you can remove that. Next, let's go ahead and set up your guys' tools. So we have the chart and everything set up. We got the watch list set up. The next thing that you guys want to be doing is actually setting up your tools that you're going to be using to draw and start marking up your charts and start doing analysis. So as you can see on the left here, these are the different tools that are provided by Tradingview. And this is just one of the tools. If you click on the little arrow beside each one of these, it brings a whole little side menu here. And, I'm going to show you guys the tools that I personally use, but you can fool around and see which ones that you guys vibe with. Personally for me, I love using the trend line to draw my liquidity. I use my arrow for structure. right? I like using my horizontal ray for entry areas, right? And as you guys star it, just like the time frames, it actually creates a little favorite toolbar that you can drag around anywhere you want. So I'm just going to go through here and show you guys some of the stuff that I have favorited on mine. And you guys can obviously favorite them as you go, or if you don't want to, you don't have to. Okay, so Fibonacci retracement, I'll show you guys how to set that up. Brush, rectangle, pathing. This is what I use for identifying structure. And then you can do it for your text box. And then long and short position as well. Okay, so I'm going to go through all of this and show you guys how to set these up. Okay, so each one of these tools, let's say, for example, you got the horizontal ray. You want to draw a line here. Every tool, you can actually go ahead, click on it, and there's a setting. And you guys can either change the price level, right, and coordinates. So let's say if I want to move this down to 96,800, click enter, it'll move it. You can add text. So let's say, I type down London open or something like that. And then you guys can actually move the text. Okay. And what you guys can actually do is you can create templates for each one of these. So, for example, the one template that I personally love using, and I'll show you guys how to do that right now. Right, let's say this is what I like using for liquidity. So what I like doing for my liquidity, just to make it a little bit more visually attractive, excuse me. One of the things I love adding on mine is a little $ symbol. Right, so we're going to go ahead and find this real quick if we can. Right, so I'll put a little money bag there. And what you guys can actually do is you can save it, right, and save it as liquidity top side. Right, so now the next time you draw a line, right, it's probably not going to come up, but once you go here, you click on the template, now the template will show up. So this is one thing that I do for liquidity, but you guys can do this template for any of the tools. Okay, so now that you guys have the tools set up there, the next thing I'm going to show you guys is to actually, start marking up your guys' charts. Okay, so for example, let's just identify some structure here on a 4-hour time frame. Okay, so you can see here, the market has been creating lower highs and lower lows, right? And that's why I love using the path tool. And as you can see here, right, this is essentially where we had our break structure and the market's been continuing to expand higher. Okay, so you guys can use the arrow tool, or you can actually physically write it, right? So you can type in lower high, and then same thing, right? You can add a template, right? Save as, lower high, right? And now, you got lower high there. This is a lower low. And then you can also add that template as well if you wanted to. Okay, so that way anytime you click and add a text, you could just go to template and it will save as there. I'm not sure why that didn't save, but it will save there. Okay, so that's how you guys identify the structure and just marking up a chart. Let's say, for example, you wanted to look for an entry area, right? Let's say if you're looking for the market to return back into this 4-hour candle, right? You can drop a box here, right? Maybe you got a hypothetical risk to reward you want to look at, right? So if we're looking to buy, it's going to be a long position. And this is how you guys can use the long and short position to start speculating your risk to reward. Right? So based off your idea, let's say if you were looking to target maybe this imbalance up here or something like that, right? This is just completely random setup that I'm looking at, but just something that, you guys can drop and have ready. Now, the beauty of TradingView is, you obviously don't need to be behind your chart waiting for price to come down into this area. What you guys can actually do is, if you see to the right here, there's a little plus sign. So you can actually click on this and add an alert. So once you click on this, right click on it and go to edit you can actually now set up an alert so it will notify you to your phone or even your email, okay? Or you can just strictly have a sound, okay? Now, personally for me, I have it set up to email, right? So you just click here, and then, you just need to verify your account, so verify your email, and then it will send emails to you as notifications. So this way you don't need to sit behind the chart every given minute of the day. You could just wait for the alert to go off, and then that way okay, maybe my trade is ready for me to set a pending, or if you're looking to execute directly with the market execution, you can do that as well, whatever you guys are vibing with. But that's how you guys will set up the alerts. And as well, if you guys don't like how there's a huge orange line just going across your screen, you can actually right click here and click uncheck this and uncheck it, and the extended lines will go away. Okay. Next thing I want to show you guys is how to set up your Fibonacci tool. Okay, so once you guys click on the screen, you can drag and do it there, and I'll show you guys the different settings that you want to change up in here, so just to make it look a little bit more appealing. So personally for me, I turn off the background, I turn off the price levels, and I switch it over to the right. Okay, and then you guys can actually turn off some of these levels, like all of these higher levels. Don't really need to bother with them. Okay, and you can turn off 236, and we're actually going to change 0.38 to 886. Okay, and then you guys can even change the colors. So personally, what I like doing, I like making my higher discounted price levels a different color, make them look more appealing, and then the other ones I kind of just leave, whatever. Okay, so this is how you guys can set up your Fibonacci, and as you go through the course, you will learn how to use this. But Fibonacci is what we use to measure swing highs and swing lows, so something like that, right? And if you want to stick something on, you hold control. This is the magnet tool, and it'll stick exactly to the top of a wick or to a body directly, and that's how you can draw your Fibonacci. Okay, now last thing. Now let's say you guys are obviously going through the course and you guys have set up your Notion already. That's why you're on this video setting up your Tradingview. Right? Let's say if I wanted to send this chart over to Siva, obviously that's me, but let's say I'm in the student presence and I want to send this over to Siva in my Notion. All I got to do, I go over here, I click on take snapshot, and either I can copy the image or I can send the direct link. Okay, so say if I copy the link to the image, right, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up Notion here, right, and let's say I'm going through the liquidity video in the bounce back course. So I can then actually go in here and I can add a comment, right? So I'll put the chart, right, and then you can add a little note if you want to, using fibs with liquidity, right? And once you guys have done this, right, when you guys drop charts, make sure you tag me. So put @. Okay, you can search up @ and then it'll pop a little menu, and then you'll type Siva. Okay, so this way, when you guys drop these charts as you go through liquidity, wick off, whatever video it is, you can start adding these. And then once you me in here, once you have a chart in here, I can start to see, right? I will get notified on my end to my email, and then I'll know to come check out your chart, and I can come give you comments in here as well. But thank you for tuning into this video. Hopefully you guys got some insight. If you guys do have any questions, make sure you reach out to myself or Kat. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Take care, everyone.